Well, howdy folks, I'm Mac Stevens. I buy old records and I also make old records now. Or I make records that sound like old records because, and I'll elucidate for you, I'm making records off of my 1936 Presto K8. That I pulled the recording head off and pulled it to the side, and I put this overhead lathe from my 1958 Reco cut onto, and then I put the recording head onto it. So this thing is good. I can dial in the in and out grooves and everything, and I'm using the 2 vacuum method right now of keeping, well, you'll see as I'm just so excited. I get excited as somebody with a really reason to be excited. But anyway, gotta look to that part of the camera. That's where the little aperture is to be able to record. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take this record. It's a transparent PVC. It's got stuff on one side that didn't work, and having things that didn't work is really part of what I do here. One little mistake and it just makes for a ruined piece of plastic. So I'm going to take the flip side of this little ruined piece of plastic, which has nothing on it yet. We're going to cut a record. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put it right here onto the Presto. Like I say, it's a 1936 model. It's 88 years old, but it's got a real young kind of lathe on top. The overhead, that's only from 58, as I've said, so it's, you know, it's fairly enough reasonable young. You set everything up like that. Now we've got to treat the record, and for me, I like treating the record with a little witch's brew of that, some floor cleaner. It's for vinyl floors, and it softens it up just a little bit because you want this thing to cut really, really, really easy. You don't want to ruin your needle with every cut. Those needles are expensive, and the needles themselves are probably from the 1940s or so. The ones I've got, they're new old stock sapphires. Yeah, I know you're not supposed to use sapphire with this, but it works. So anyway, so with those two things, we're going to let that soften up a bit, and then we're going to hit it with the heat. And the heat is an infrared lamp, like you'd hatch out chickens with. You know, I think that's how chickens are born anyway. So we're rocking and rolling there. We got a little bit of heat. We want to get that thing up to a little more than body temperature, about 38 centigrade. That's 100 or so in freedom units. And you don't want to overdo it and end up crumpling up your record. It'll fold. So I'm going to assemble my chip chaser. This is an old thing from the 40s that sets on the surface of the record like this, and it catches any stray thread that decides to pop off and becomes a nuisance. If that thread gets back to where the stylus is, it can break the continuity of the groove, and then you've got a ruined recording. It's either perfectly continuous or it's perfectly ruined. And I don't like things that are ruined in that regard. Now what I'm going to do, because this might be monetized and I don't want to get that strike, I'm going to put on some of my Sons of Sam music. And we're going to put on one we recorded early this year here in my own Fredonia Sonocoustic studio. Sonocoustic, two words about sound that don't mean anything when you put them together. And this is one we've called I Ain't Gonna Ask Again. It's a good hillbilly rockabilly type thing. That's warming up nicely. We're just about ready to let it roll. I'm gonna give it another minute maybe of heating, and then so I'm gonna get it in position. There's a worm, well, I'll point it out to you. This is what it looks like from this end. I've got a crank on that side for cranking in the in grooves and out the out grooves. Then I've got the recording head here, which is running continuously on a worm screw there. Right here I've got a vacuum that'll should pick up the first little bit of stuff that comes off the record when you start cutting. For some reason that seems to be the spot that's the most troublesome with having skips and and stuff like that. So I'm fixing to hit right now the first vacuum, that one. Then I'm going to use this vacuum hose here and use it for catching stuff as I need. So I'm going to turn it on. So we're running a couple of vacuum cleaners now. Things are ready. Needle has dropped. Couple of cranks. Source material is playing. Oh, yeah, we rocking. I'm going to just suck this stuff up as it comes. Read into that what your little puerile minds will come up with. And right now, we're recording a record. The thread is coming off the recording needle and coming right into the vacuum as it should. As was intended by El Señor Presto back in, I don't know, they came out with this, I think, in 1934, this model. I've got a 36. And it's a little workhorse. It was put together by Alberto Tello. He restored it down in Austin. He's my Italian friend. And he got tired of it, so I bought it. And then he got tired of his Reco cut, so I bought it. And then I put the two together to make this. And I'm really happy with what happens. The results are really good. Took me a while to hit upon the alchemy required to make good recordings. And we're at the 50% mark of the time of the record we're doing. It's only about a 2-minute long record, so I can chatter my way through that. Not a problem. So I don't need the first vacuum anymore. So I turn it off. Give myself a little less of a headache, don't you know? I keep the heat going it the whole time because you don't want the record cooling off at the same time that you're recording it. You want that record to retain a nice, really nice warm surface. I got to pull it back a little bit though. A little too much is a little too much. Okay, we've got 23 seconds left. And then I'm going to move things around. We're going to play the record and see how it turned out. Sometimes there's background noise from the record. Sometimes something's a little weird. It's okay. Sometimes it don't work right no matter what you do. Now we have reached the end of the record. And now I'm going to dial in the outro grooves all the way. Got a locking groove established there. Pull the needle up so we don't wear it out any more than we have to. Remove the chip chaser. Move that out of the way. And off. And look, this is some of what comes off when you make a record. That's that little angel hair stuff or puby looking stuff. That's the stuff that comes out of a record when you make it. So I'm gonna move things around a little bit more here. Sorry about my bad panning. And we're going to turn on the Audio-Technica 120. 33 and 45, you hit them at both and you get 78, because that's what it adds up to. So I take the record, anytime I cut one, I immediately give it a good wipe down with my rag. There we go, it's sitting there. It's ready to go, so we should just go ahead and listen to it. I've warmed up my little amp over there. I'm going rockin' on a Saturday night, just like you, you're really bad. I ain't gonna ask again. I ain't gonna ask again. If you don't show me, don't go away. Ain't gonna ask again. I know you like to dance and you dance so divine, but I got girls that we go wine. I ain't gonna ask again. Now I ain't gonna
don't ask again. You don't show that it don't go away. Don't ask again. Ciao.
That sounds like 1956 stuff. Well, that was recorded earlier this year in my little studio. And then when the record's done, it does its little thing there where it goes out to the end. See it? There it goes. Couldn't do that on the original version of this machine. It didn't have the crank. Those hadn't been invented yet. Weird that the crank's only been around for 88 years. No, not even 88 years. I don't know. They came around in the 40s for these machines. This machine was a lot older than that. It was used for radio transcription work. And these are made with original New Old Stock 78 cutting needles. I'm playing it back on a system, modern, but it's got the 78 stylus. The width of the grooves and the whole grooves per inch is quite perfect for mid-50s type recordings. So there you got it. You got Sons of Sam. That's myself, rhythm, guitar, and vocal. I write most of the songs, unless we're covering, you know, some old Sun record type things. We've got Charlie Rottendaro on drums, and he's neat. He actually plays his drums. He just doesn't beat the hell out of them. He plays them. We've got Fonzie all day, and he's bundle of energy on the upright bass fiddle. He does a lot of the cool Bill Black stuff on stage. You'd like it. And then we've got Ariel Romero on the hot and blue guitar. So I'm really happy with what we're doing here. It's a lot of fun, and I recommend fun. I mean, what's life without fun? It's Central Texas. Anyway, never mind. I was editorializing there. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to shut this down. My lovely bride and I tonight, we've got to go out to a club and see if we can book some shows there with me and the boys. And y'all be real good, be excellent to one another. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, yada, 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 then you need bail money. So, anyway.